like I say, working in that field really teach you to really like not take anything for granted because at any given moment anybody life can change, anybody life can be, and so that's the thing, because a person don't have to be sick to die, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it
Yeah.
just really teach you to really just like really not take nothing for granted, man, and don't think you're invincible, or don't think I'm invincible, because we're here for a time, and then so it's just one of them things where like live every moment and just enjoy every moment. And sometimes when you have a setback in life, don't get upset by it, because guess what? A lot of times you got to, if you wanted this and if you want
Hmm.
success, you're gonna have failure.
Yeah.
You got to be neutral.
The price, you pay the price no matter what, and I think it's two things what you can be sure, especially in the US: taxes and debt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the taxes, they really get you too.
Yeah, I'm more lucky in Thailand, but it's still, it's chasing just a little. So,
Yeah.
so what's your next goal? What's your next mission?
Well, so for God willing, before the year is out, I'm planning to shoot like at least one more episode of my web series, and then for the rest of it, I'm trying to finish up the documentary on the web series of making it, and then I want to finish up my pro wrestling documentary going into next year, a little after, God willing. But yeah, I'm just working on documentaries, man, and just trying to have fun with this web series and just share it with the community. And I'm hoping to host a film premiere out in Missouri at the High Point Theater too. So yeah, God willing. So I'm excited about that. Just
Nice.
gotta have fun, because you know what, it is about bringing people together, and like it's not so much about trying to sit on a computer screen and just try to necessarily reach everybody like that, because sometimes you got to get out and connect with people, because it's a lot of people out here doing stuff on the screen, and that's cool, but a lot of times I feel like you connect better. This is just me. I think that a real connection with people is still doing things in person. Only because, again, sometimes like there's so much content out here, so many people saying good things and that, and so like to me, it's just nice to have a really solid connection with people and get a chance to get out and get to know and mingle and stuff. Like this is great, this is fine, but I still think sometimes it doesn't compare to hosting events, and even if five
Absolutely.
people show up, so what? You know, it's
Yeah.
just
So
about being in the
we d-
moment.
we d- we don't we don't have choice. We need to see each other on the real. And I'm always like, it's always my goal. Like this technology allowed us to, let's say, connect, to know each other better. Like, but you remember when we have a phone, we always, before we use the phone, just to make a meeting. Hello, you're there? Okay, let's meet, right? That's all. Later we use the phone for talking, right? Later we use texting for, like, okay, you're there. Now we even use texting. Hey, can I call you? Right? What the fucking question? You have a phone, just call, right? Like you
Yeah,
asking someone, can I call you? Right? Before it was not like this. You just call, right? And
yeah.
now and it looks like it gives us, more connection, but basically now it's like we even can break up with someone using the text message or messenger, or even don't say nothing, just block someone, like, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I've been through the ghosting phase before. It's not the
Just
best,
block.
but I think it's much more easy just to say, hey, look, I need some space, and I think it's kind of cruel to just have somebody like, because what people don't realize is what we do to other people, it comes back to us. So like I said, in all things, I try to be fair with people. Nothing wrong with moving on, but at least just be human about it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's also create first the ability to speak, to learn, to understand the process, to have fail, to make some moments where it's ups and down, and meaningful or not. But it's all experience, and I think we, like you said on the beginning, it's a upside down. So basically, this is the journey. It will be always like this, but we take
Absolutely.
we take both from down, and we take a lot of things from the other side. But like we trying to escape from the bad moments, and like trying to change, and saying like it's okay and everything. But basically, yeah, I feel like shit, and what, like,
Yeah,
it's okay
absolutely.
to feel like shit,
Yeah,
sometimes.
nobody. I'm not gonna
Uh,
lie. Nobody likes setbacks. I don't like setbacks, but in all things, I learned to say, okay, how can I do better? Well, what can
Hmm.
I learn from this? Because we have to understand that nobody's obligated to do anything for us. Even with business, right? Like when I put my film out, nobody's obligated to watch it. If they do, I appreciate it. But you can't force people to share your work and like your work. But what you can do is the best that you can with it. And from there, you can find ways to be creative. But again, like I said, I'm not, necessarily looking to, I'm not necessarily trying to, get 8 million people to tune in all the time. Like to me, it doesn't matter how if people really like it, that's good enough for me. Like I'm not so much moved by numbers so much because I know that sometimes numbers are not even always accurate either.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Sometimes the algorithm system wanna like a trick us so we can spend more time to checking the stats and maybe we do something more to watching and everything. Which is all the algorithm. They just wanna keep us
also,
there.
also I noticed that they shadow ban people too. I've
They
noticed that
do.
because I know a couple of times I put out a post and I know it was more people that, I believe more people had liked it or whatever. Then it's like they took the likes away or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
so because I know they kind of want you to pay. They want you to pay to play, in other words. I
Yep.
get
Yep.
it.
Yep. Yeah, that's the system. So sometimes, so I'm big believer, and I also shift, because I try to like build some kind of agency, but I don't want to build the agency based on the views, based on the stats and everything. I want to build the agency based on the community, and I think is the new movement when people need to understand it doesn't matter how many views, how many likes, how many followers you have. It's all about the people. Sometimes you need one person to completely change everything, or
That's
like
true.
give you the potential to basically talk about your idea, and then move to the next step, or even don't kill yourself on the many, like extreme stuff. But it's happened. Like sometimes you require one person who talk with someone, and it can change totally
Absolutely.
the
I've seen it
the
happen.
system.
I've seen it happen. It's just like as far as the pro wrestling thing. I trained for 2 years, of course, during the pandemic, and you know, I kind of seen some things, and I'm like, okay, I'll keep my affiliation with it, but like, okay, I'm not gonna focus as much on this because I can't afford to have another hobby.
Uh,
I got
they,
enough
they
of
they
those.
they said if you want to have more time, you need to find another things to do. So
Yeah, well, when money's a little tight, you don't want to have too many hobbies, though.
yeah, I always wonder like how my father can afford all the fishing stuff. Like it's much cheaper to just buy the fish, right? And and they going every time and they don't bring nothing, and they pay another fishing road and everything. But yeah, but
Yeah,
sometimes it's also motivate you to do the things, right? And I
yeah.
also wonder like how this person can afford. Like I cannot fucking buy this and buy this, but how the
Well,
people can afford?
yeah. Well, so for me, what I meant when I said that was like, pro wrestling was great, but what I more so meant was like, okay, let's be real. A lot of times, what people don't understand is that your dreams cost you money. Um, and a lot of times, people may not believe that, but your dreams cost you money because if you are an independent filmmaker, you gotta find a way to get your own money. You gotta find a way to get your stuff out here. You gotta find a way to market it. And I'm telling you now, most people ain't gonna do it for free. Now there may be some people that might help you and things like that, but and so even with like when I train for pro wrestling, right? Like it costs to train. Because the trainer they got to get their money too. That's understandable. But what I'm saying is that for me, the training was fun and everything, but like, I just felt like, there were a lot of talented people that didn't get utilized. And I didn't like that, because one thing about me, I think that everybody kind of should have at least a fair chance. But when I saw that, I'm like, well, maybe I'll come back you know, when I do something to maybe promote myself. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because sometimes when you're in situations where people are not gonna promote you, you got to promote yourself. Then you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
like you can always like use your side or like side hustle and the main work to like basically pay for the dreams, right?
yeah,
But in general, like if you have like, it's many people like thinking like, they wait, but they also wait for the, the time, maybe next year you can connect this, and then you can do this, and even experience for your, pro wrestling was experience, and then like, that's okay. I tried, I did it, and like mission complete, right? And because there's, no regret, right? Yeah, it costs money, of course. Trying things costs money, but you know what? Like, it's worth it, because you will always
Absolutely.
thinking like, oh, I should do it this one, I should do it this one, because you don't never know what will be outcome from this. You can go pro wrestling, but basically on the wrestling you can go meet someone who do the, who have a
Well,
other business, and it's
well, that's
so
the
many
funny
things,
part.
right?
That's the funny part about it, though, right? Like I've been out of pro wrestling for quite a while now, but I ended up making connections with somebody that has an up and coming promotion, and she wants to work with me. So it's like, by the grace of God, I could be going back to it. So it's like, it did pay off. It just paid off a little differently. But that's what I'm saying, right? You have to what they say about the card game. You got to know when how to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. It's like everything is about timing. And so
Yeah.
for me, I think that like when I was training, you know, I had, like I said, I had the filmmaking going on. I was doing stuff in the funeral business, and I had this going on, that going on. So, I wasn't really fully invested into wrestling like that. So I had to let that go for a little while. But I mean, it was cool, man. I met a lot of
Hmm.
cool people, a lot of cool people.